Well, he's played a lot of games last season specifically. His skating, his competitiveness, and he had a good camp. So it's a good opportunity for him to jump in, and look forward to seeing him.
As far as the forward rotation goes,
You're dominating the conference room here.
I am. So as far as the forward rotation goes, guys seem to understand it, but in that moment when you tell them they're sitting out, I'm sure there's disappointment. How have they handled it as a group, I guess?
They've handled it about as well as you can handle it. It sucks to have to sit a guy healthy when you know they're competing and playing hard. It's not a good feeling. But as I've said, when you have, we're really healthy up front. We wish we were that healthy on the back end. But when you have that, you have guys 23-man roster, and if everybody's healthy, only 20 play. So anybody can understand that, and where we're at, give or take, those guys are competing, and then they all deserve to play. You just can't play them all.
What's the key to creating more opportunities from the slot? It's one area that you guys probably haven't had as many as you'd like.
Progression. I think it'll be a progression. I know we'll get better at it. I shouldn't say I think, we will. There's so many different things you're putting together, 6-7 games into the year. It does take 20 games at least to get everything into place. Guys aren't feeling, they're not in midseason form, and I think that is one area that is an indicator that they're not in midseason form. You have to use the perimeter in the offensive zone because teams are so good tightening things up, but then you also have to know when to get off the perimeter to get into the slot or shooting areas. And again, that's a process at the start of any season for all teams. I'm watching it, really around the league. Lots of goals scored on breakdowns. There won't be breakdowns like that. 20 games in, you'll have to manufacture it. And I think what you're mentioning is more of a scenario where you need to how to manufacture offense, how to get from the perimeter inside at the right time.
Jacobs had a strong start. He's playing with Rasmus tonight. What's gone into his start this season?
Bryson?
Yes.
Yeah, he just, the way he works, he just keeps getting better. So, and I say works in the game, but he watches the film after. Him and Marty Wilford, Danny Girardi will sit down after every game and go through, his scenarios as they do with each D, and he internalizes that well. He tries to, he's intuitive enough to figure out, okay, what can I do better? What can I take advantage of with my skill set, which being quickness and assertiveness, and he continues to add to his game, and that is because of his competitiveness and his. He's a very talented kid, so that adds to it as well.
Coach, when you integrate a new defenseman into the lineup, you have Craig. When Craig's in goal, does he kind of help with that process because we know he's been around so much, and just kind of help get that guy where he needs to be and what you guys are trying to do?
He does. I think he does his share. Absolutely. He's. I don't think he's has a checklist of what to go over with his defensemen, but he's very good at read and react. And helping the guys, just if it's net front positioning on shots, or as scenarios play out within the context of the game, Craig knows our system very well, and he can help us send any message needed to acclimate a guy to how we want to play or how we play situations, and he does it.
Is Tage feeling some pressure?
I think Tage always puts pressure on himself, and I think he always complicates things because he puts pressure on himself. He just wants it. He wants it now. He wants it bad. I had another conversation with him this morning just to give him a few thoughts, observations of my own. But I do see this as just part of a natural process, knowing his personality. He's again another guy that just wants it so bad, wants it now, and he's not in mid-season form yet. It's just not. He hasn't had enough touches and enough time, and you want to hurry to that point. You want to hurry to mid-season form, and you try to make everything perfect along the way, and it's not very conducive to getting in the flow, and it's what we've seen, I think, on him. But I'm confident that'll resolve itself.
What has the Ferguson line done well that's led to some of those long closeout shifts they've had the last
I think both Zemgus and Okposo have looked better each game, and to the point where last game was far and away their best from an energy standpoint. They had better jump, and I think that's just what we're seeing there with them. They know they have a great sense of objective as veteran NHL players. They know how to keep the game simple and direct, and they've gone through a process of doing that harder based on getting back into midseason form. And again, the other night was far and away their best game from as far as their energy level and their ability to skate and sustain for 3 periods. And I hope that it continues to improve tonight in that regard. Good.
Thanks, Tom.